An African-American family in North Carolina that was terrorized by an armed mob led by an off-duty sheriff's deputy is now getting a little bit of justice. That sheriff's deputy has luckily been fired, but I do want to give you some context into this story and what happened. We're now seeing more and more surveillance and witness testimony of what went down a few weeks ago. And it was when an armed mob led by off-duty new Hanover County Sheriff's Deputy Jordan Kita allegedly tried to force their way into 18-year-old Dameon Shepard's home to question the teenager. The mob was said to have been looking for a different teenager who no longer lived in the neighborhood. So the off-duty sheriff's deputy, Kita, was looking for a young girl in his family who was missing. And I guess he got some sort of tip from someone and decided that he was going to show up to this neighborhood looking for some teenager who was allegedly with her. But first off, there was a mistaken identity here because Dameon Shepard was not with her. And it turned out that the young girl ended up going back home. So I don't know what ended up happening with her, but you have this armed mob of 12 to 15 people showing up to this family's home, while they're armed, demanding that the family let them into the home to look for this girl. And the family was terrified. Luckily, no one got hurt. But considering the weapons that were involved, including an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, one person had a shotgun, you have this unhinged, unruly, off-duty cop who's trying to take matters into his own hands and carry out vigilante justice. He was out of his jurisdiction. I mean, they're like terrorizing this family. And, luckily there's been some justice because the sheriff's deputy has been fired and there are charges against him now. But the reason why you probably didn't hear about this story is because the local police weren't planning on doing anything about it until there was enough media attention to do something about it. So, Jono, I'm going to give you some of the witness accounts in just a minute. But, I mean, did you hear about this story?
I mean, a videotape has to come out to have any chance, to have the minimal chance. I mean, we saw that obviously in the Arbor case as well. And this also, this is getting news coverage around the same time as Breonna Taylor's killing, which at least in that case, it's police, again, mistaken identity, show up at the wrong place, somebody dies. That's a story that tragically happens all the time. It's the rise of these mobs is insane. The idea that these people, anytime they come up with some excuse to pick up their gun and run out, it really just does appear that nobody buys an AR-15 and then puts it in the safe and then says, I hope I never have to pull this trigger. Everybody's just looking for an excuse to grab their gun and to run after people. And just the merest idea that someone has transgressed and now you can citizens arrest, form a mob, whatever. I really hope that the stories that have cropped up over the past month are true exceptions and that this doesn't become the norm under Trump.
Right. And people luckily have been sharing their Nest surveillance to show what the scene looked like when the mob arrived. But just one quick comment from a witness. I saw a bunch of guys jumping out of their vehicles, grabbing firearms. They seemed unorganized, just a bunch of people grabbing guns and running around. I saw a guy run to his truck to the front driveway, run back to his truck and grab an AR-15 and run back to their house. And after a little bit, I saw him run back into his truck and throw his gun in the back seat, maybe after he realized it was the wrong house. People are going to die from these vigilante white mobs terrorizing Black people. We've already seen it happen, and it needs to stop. There needs to be charges. There needs to be consequences.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.